Hope everyone had a great weekend, Labor Day. Obviously excited to get this thing going week one against Miami. Just finished up a walkthrough and kicking it off, getting a normal game week. So excited for the opportunity this weekend.
All right, we'll get started. Chap, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, Shane, I'm sure optimism is high. When you go back and look at what you in the offseason, what you wanted to get done, I guess to change the trend of getting off to good starts and even winning the first game. When you go back and look at that, do you think you did that, and what did you do to maybe change their narrative on this team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this offseason, we talked about creating an edge and being in great condition. And I think we did that throughout training camp. I know I mentioned a little bit earlier, but we had more than 400 more reps at team periods during training camp to be in great physical shape, along with the conditioning that our strength and conditioning staff has done with those guys. All those things through camp, creating that edge, the sudden change things. Obviously, starting fast is a big part of this thing, and that's what we're looking to do come Sunday.
Thanks, Coach.
James?
Shay, you talked about creating an edge. How much do you think Daniel has contributed to that edge since coming to Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think he's been great. I think he's been a pro from the day he walked in here, the way he's worked. People have seen it throughout the building, his teammates, the coaches, and I think that adds to it. A guy that's always prepared and ready to roll, and the way he works, that creates an edge in itself. So we're excited for his opportunity along with the rest of the guys, come Sunday.
Steven?
Shane, JT, the season that he had last season, I guess, what do you think went into obviously his health, but just the progression that he showed, from the last few years to kind of getting back to being himself last year, and how does he continue that?
I think he's been consistent since he's been here. I think it's the way he works, goes about his business, his home run ability that he has. And I think it starts up front with offensive line, creating those creases for him. And the way he goes is how we go too, as an offense. So I'm excited for his opportunity. Like I said, he's been so consistent for us, over the past, 4 or 5 years. And I'm looking forward to him having a big year this year as well.
And
Hey Shane, this in your third year, is it easier now knowing what you don't know? Does that make sense? Like you know what you know, then you don't know what you don't know. Is it easier now for you to not work so hard to try to figure all those things out?
Well, I think you get into a rhythm and a routine going into your third year and knowing your team and knowing your players, and what you need to get done. From a schematic standpoint, from a work standpoint, I think part of it is getting to know your team and gotten to know our team really well over the last 2 years. So feel very confident in our team and their abilities, and going about it, the right way in training camp and obviously into week one preparation is a big part of it, Kent.
Angela?
Hey, coach, all the documentation of not winning week one, how much of there is an extra sense of urgency to break that streak? And what's the number one message for your guys as you prepare for Miami?
Yeah, we definitely want to break that streak, and being in front of our home crowd to start the season in Lucas Oil Stadium is going to be huge. And Mr. Irsay going to the Ring of Honor is going to be huge. And, we're not just playing for, ourselves. We're playing for this city. We're playing for Mr. Irsay every time we go out there. And we're excited for the opportunity. We know Miami's a good football team, but to start off week one at home and give everything we got to break that streak will be huge.
Chap?
Shane, I mean, you guys have been together for like 5 months now, since April, and you've done the work. Are you confident what you guys have, or are you still a bit curious to see what you are?
Oh, no, I'm confident in all our guys' abilities. We got a lot of guys returning. We added some new guys in the back end on defense. Obviously, a new scheme defensively that I'm looking forward to. I think these guys have got the right mindset going into this thing. Like I said, we had a really good walkthrough today. I think everyone's ready to go, geared up, for this season. So, again, excited for the opportunity. Anytime you get a chance to go play in the National Football League, and especially at home in front of our home crowd, I'm excited, to see what our guys can do.
James?
Shane, obviously, the last time you saw the Dolphins, Tua wasn't available, but when he's in that offense, considering the speed they have, also at the skill position spots, what challenges does he present as a quarterback when surrounded by that crew?
Yeah, no, they do a really good job on offense. Their schemes, really good. And obviously Tyreek and Waddle are a big part of that. And Tua has been playing good ball. He gets the ball to his hands quick, knows where to go with the football, when he wants to go with the football. So we got to do a great job containing those guys. And obviously, getting after the quarterback, as much as we can, will be part of this thing.
We'll do just a couple more here, Stephen.
Oh, that was actually kind of my question. The more so about the receivers. I mean, Tyreek and Jalen in particular. Just how much more equipped are you to deal with those guys? You feel like with a guy like Mooney out there, and then even with adding a new safety on the back end. Just what your secondary in general. Just what kind of test will this be, and just how better equipped are you this year?
Yeah, it'll be a hell of a test. Those two wideouts are two of the best in the league. We know the speed they have, in the slot, on the outside, one-on-one. So I know, obviously we got to do a great job of game planning against those two guys, because, they're real big time players. So I'm excited for that challenge on the back end with the guys that we brought in and loose scheme as well.
One quick follow. I mean, we talked so much about injuries the last month or so. I mean, do you feel like you're relatively healthy,
Yeah,
knock on wood?
no, we feel good going into week one. I think we'll be in real good shape with everybody.
Yeah, okay.
One more from me. I've asked players this, Shane. Does part of you just get excited to actually play the game? Because we talk so much about what it could be, what it's looked like, you're building towards it. It's like, all right, well, we did all this work, and now we can actually go out there and see what's what.
Yeah, there's no question. I think that's all part of it, right? You build it up in the spring and all the way through training camp to get to week one. And I think that's where a lot of the excitement comes in, all the hard work you've put in through the offseason to get to week one and start the season. So I'm excited for our guys. I'm excited for our team. Like I said, to go, week one at home against Miami and Lucas Oil Stadium in front of our fans, fired up for that.